Hello, we have been asked to find the surface area of this composite, which is cylinder and a rectangular prism. The surface area is the sum of all the areas of every geometric figure. When it comes to prism, we will be using this short formula, LA plus 2B, and the LA is the height times the perimeter of the base. The B, which is the base area. And when it comes to the surface area of a cylinder, which is the top and down, is the one that brings the 2 pi r squared, and the lateral or the curved surface area is the 2 pi rh. So let's consider the cylinder. So we are looking at the curved surface area, which is the lateral area, is 2 pi rh. We are taking pi to be 3.14. So 2 times 3.14. The radius is 4, the height is 5. If we multiply, we get 125.6, and it's a feet squared. When it comes to the top and the bottom of the cylinder, which we were supposed to use a 2 pi r squared, we are holding it on. Later we will talk about that. Now let's look at the prism. So the prism has 6 faces. So instead of calculating every phases, the area of the face, and then adding it, we can just simple formula to do that, which is the LA plus the 2B. So our LA is the height. So the height is here. And then we are looking for the perimeter. Perimeter is you're adding the base. So it's 11 plus another 11 plus 8 plus 8. And that gives us 38. And 6 times 38 gives us 228. And now we need B, which is the base area. So the same base here. Multiply this by this. So 11 times 8. That gives us 88. And we have to double it. Multiply it by 2 because it's up and down. That gives us 170. We're supposed to look for the whole surface area. But we realize that this section here has to be taken out. Now we have to know that we have to count it twice because the cylinder is sitting on the prism. That portion of the cylinder and that portion of the prism has to be taken out. So that's the reason why we have to if we take this thing out, that will take care of that. So we don't need to include the top and the bottom of the cylinder. Because of that section, we'll take it out. So therefore, our total surface area of this composite figure is going to be 125, which is the lateral of the cylinder, plus the lateral of the prism, and then plus the bottom and the top of the prism, which is 172, and that will give us 529.6 feet squared. Right, so we have our two prism here, small prism sitting on the big, and here we realize that this section here is where they overlap. So it is happening is we are going to count it twice because one for the small and the one for the big. So as we are calculating, we are not going to include that portion and this portion here so that it can be taken care of. Finding the small prism, we need only the lateral. We don't need the top and down. So the lateral, the height of this is 4, and the perimeter of the base we add this is 4, 4, 4. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, which come 4 times 16, and that will give us 64, and it's a centimeter squared. To the large prism, here we need the LA, and we are going to need the 2B. But let's find the LA, the lateral area, which we need the height, and then the perimeter of the base. Seven plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. 7 times 28, 196 centimeter squared. We need a 2B of this here. The B is the base area, so we get our 2 here, and then the base area is this times this, 7 times 7, which is equals to 2 times 49. Just going to be 98 centimeter squared. So therefore, the surface area, the total surface area, going to be this 64 plus 196 plus 98. So that will give us 358 centimeter squared. Right, so we have this house here. I want to calculate the surface area. So realize that it's of two parts, which is the base and then the roof. So as we are looking at the base is a rectangular, so all here, this front here. So we can calculate for the lateral area of that structure as finding the base structure. And now we are looking for the lateral, which is the height. We need the height. The height is 21. And then the perimeter of the base. So that gives us 18. Back here is also 18. 13 plus 13 gives us 62. And we multiply and we get 1,003 feet squared. Now we need area of this bottom here. We need that because we need to find that surface 2. But we are not going to need the top here. So that's the reason why we are not using the 2. We are not double the top and down. We need only the bottom. So it's just going to be 18 times 13 here. That gives us 234. It's also an area, so feet squared. We have to come to the roofing piece of it. So the roofing, we realize that this is a triangle and it's of 2. There's another one behind here. So the triangle piece of it, the area, we need that area, and we are using base times height divided by 2. So base times height, the base length here is 18, and the perpendicular height was given as 4 times 16, and we divide it by 2. That gives us 144. But we have to double it. It's 2 sections of it, so we have to double it. So 2 times 144 give us 288. Now we need here this side of that, and then the same thing behind. So it's 2 of them. The other one also behind here. Okay, so we know this side, which is 13 here. We don't know this side here, but we can use the Pythagorean to get that piece here, because we know the height was 16, and this here is a halfway, so here is 9, so we can have this this length here, we can call it d or whatever. We can have that one, and as we are looking for that one, we have to use a Pythagorean. Then the that section is just going to be a square root. You're supposed to know your Pythagorean, which is, if you're looking for that side, is like a hypotenuse. It's just c is equals to a squared plus b squared. You have to know that. We are using 16 squared plus 9 squared, and that will give us 18.4. We can find the rectangular area. This will be 18.4 times 13, and that have to give us 239.2, and it's 2 sections of it, so we have to double it, so times 2, and that will give us 478.4 feet squared. So finally, the surface area is going to be, we are adding these three numbers, so 1,302 plus 288, and then 478.4, and that will be 2,068.4 feet square. Okay, so let's look at this last one here. We are still using the surface area. This is a prism, so surface area, which is LA plus 2B, this equation. We realize that here the base is of regular, but they have cut off some portion. So before we can do this, so that we can get a right height and the right base, then we have to pick this thing up in such a way that where is the cutoff have to be the base. This have to be the bottom. So we have to turn it in such a way that this will be at the bottom. If that's, then we need our LA, and the new height is going to be 4. And then we multiply by the perimeter of the base. So here 8 plus this section here is 4, and then plus this section here, which is going to be 3, plus 2, plus 3 is 3 here, and plus 2, this 2 here, it's finally plus 4. We add everything up, we get 28, and that gives us 112 centimeters squared. Now we need our B. We need the base area. Realize that the base is irregular, so we have to cut it to make it regular. So the way that we're gonna get regular one of it here, the second one here, and the third one is gonna be here. Okay, so we can call it 1, 2, 3. First one is 2 by 4. So here is 4. 2 times 4. And we add it. And here is going to be 3 by, here is 2. And from the whole here is 4. So this little here is going to be 2. So 3 by 2 plus this last here is going to be 4 by 3. So that means we get 8 plus 6 plus 12, which is 26. It's going to be up there, so we have to double it. So times 2, and that will be 52. Finally, the surface area, we add the whole together to get the surface area of that, and that will give us 164 centimeter square. Please subscribe, like it, switch your notification bell on. Anytime we post a new content, and you will see it. Be blessed. Bye bye.